Boy, that bottled water was sure cold, and when she was satisfied that I was clean enough down there, she slid a dry diaper under my bottom and pulled the front up over my privates. That's when we all heard some kid shout, "Mommy, see, I told you he wears diapers just like me." I wonder if it is possible for so much blood to rush to your face from embarrassment that your face could explode right off our skull. I imagine that it would be kind of like overfilling a water balloon. Joey, you know better than that. A woman's voice scolded. How would you like it if someone shouted something like that while you were getting your diaper changed? Joey, whoever he was, then shouted, "Sorry." I put my hands over my face as the woman said, "I am so very sorry. He gets a little too excited sometimes." John then added, "Kids, don't you wish they came with an off switch?" I heard the lady laugh. I'd settle for a mute button about now. It took me a while before I was recovered enough to dare sitting up and risk someone getting a look at my glowing red face. But when I did sit up, no one was around that I could see other than Mom and John. "So are you too mortified to go back in?" John finally asked. I had to think about it for all of 3 seconds before I shook my head. "No, I'm ready." Even though I didn't really feel ready, there wasn't much that could keep me from touring the museum yet again. First, Mom washed my face using more of that cold water and oddly that same t-shirt. When she said, "Now I think you're ready," I slid out of the car and onto my feet. At first I was feeling uncomfortable and felt as though everyone was looking at me, but once I was at the front door again, all apprehension dissipated out the top of my head. The same stamp lady was still there, and I had to hold my head under this black light so that she could see my return stamp. She smiled, laughed, and waved me in. Just as before, Mom and John let me go off by myself, while they went off in a different direction. Since I had already been through the whole museum, I knew which exhibits I wanted to see again. The first one I went to see was the giant three-toed sloth, and I hadn't been standing there very long when I heard that same kid's voice from the parking lot. "Wow, look, Mommy. Look at the giant bear," he broadcasted. Before I even saw them, I felt myself blushing again. I looked around and spotted the kid standing on the far side of the sloth exhibit. Even though I hadn't seen him earlier, somehow I knew him in an instant. His mother corrected him, "That isn't a bear, it's a sloth." I'm not a very good judge of age, but I guess maybe he could have been 6 years old, but no older. He had very short, bright red hair and freckles to match. "You sure that ain't a bear, Mommy?" the boy asked as he rushed up closer to the giant sloth. It was obvious that the lady coming up behind him was his mother because she had the same color hair, only a lot more of it. She wasn't the most attractive woman in the world, but she also was a long way from ugly too. Right about then, a really fat man stepped on my foot. "Ooh. Hey, watch it, mister," I shouted. The fat oaf didn't even bother to apologize for nearly crippling me.